5 months ago, I made this video titled All I Want for Christmas, and it managed to do significantly better than any other video I made before. So, I spent the past 5 months brainstorming other cool video ideas of LEGO Star Wars that would gain traction like this. My name is HTrends, and this is the top 5 LEGO Star Wars walkers that need to be made or remade. However, before we get started, please take a listen to a quick note from our video sponsor who can help you in financial guidance. This video is sponsored by North Shore Wealth Management, offering help virtually to investors within the United States. You can learn more by visiting northshorewealthmanager.com. Find a menu of services they offer, such as retirement planning, income solutions, portfolio management, tax-efficient investing, college planning, children's accounts, and much, much more. Check out the performance of their flagship portfolio model, which is only available at North Shore, but it's just one of the many types of investments they can help you with. You can contact them to request a free consultation to ask any questions you have. Consider hiring North Shore Wealth Management for help with money left over after your LEGO purchases. Jumping right in here, our first walker on the list will be the AT-DP from the Rebels TV series. And there isn't an exact reason for remaking it, other than the fact that it's been over a decade since we last got it, and it was just super cool and enjoyed by a lot of people, and I think after a decade, it just deserves a rework. As for minifigures, I wouldn't really mess with it. I would just update the figures so they don't look like they're from 2015. Maybe include another one, like Zeb, for example. Kind of a short one on the list here, but definitely something worth including. Next, on the top 5 list, we'll be jumping to the Clone Wars era to find the AT-OT walker. We haven't gotten this since the Republic dropship in the AT-OT set in 2009, and sadly I don't think this time it's coming with the dropship. But, as you can see here, this was spotted in the scene on Felucia in Revenge of the Sith. This battle pack is set on Felucia. You can put your 327th troopers in the AT-OT, which can then fight against that new MTT, so you can have a droid battle. And the cool thing is that MTT comes with Commander Bly and Aayla Secura, both found in that scene on Felucia. Hitting the midway point on our list, we have the AT-ACT, or All-Terrain Armored Cargo Transport, and this would be a very cool set to have, but I have my concerns. So this would be not a remake, it would just be a first time made. However, it would be based off of the AT-AT because they are very similar. In fact, there's actually an AT-AT coming out this year, and LEGO has made a bunch of those. But every time we get a remake, they manage to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's really concerning because the AT-ACT is noticeably taller than the AT-AT, and if that's not accurate, that would be a problem, but it would have been predicted. Usually, LEGO is pretty good about details. However, there have been a few sets that make me feel the need to say this. There are more than just height differences between these two sets, the AT-AT and the AT-ACT. There's a big orange cargo bay. I can't imagine them missing that, but again, I feel like I need to put it out there. However, also, the head-mounted weapons are different. There's only 2 instead of 4, and the windscreen, the front view, visor, whatever you wish to call it, is also completely shaped differently. In fact, most of the entire head is shaped differently. Again, I can't see LEGO getting these wrong, but I've seen them get other details wrong, so I gotta say it. Another worry I have that could prevent this from being probably one of the greatest walkers ever made by LEGO is the driver minifigure. It shouldn't be hard to make. I just really please am asking LEGO not to use the AT-AT pilot, because that's not right. That's not accurate. That's not the figure. You need an AT-ACT pilot because there is a distinguished difference. And for all I care, you can use the AT-RT driver from the Imperial Remnant AT-RT set from The Mandalorian. But just please, please don't use the AT-AT pilot and just please make it accurate. The other figures, which LEGO has made before, I would still like them to probably be updated, but it's a lot harder to screw these up, would be 2 Scarif Beach Troopers, 1 would be regular, 1 I'm hoping would be like a captain, 1 Death Trooper, and 2 Rebel Troopers. These are just examples, but they could be literally whatever. Our last 2 walkers on this list are here to honor next year's 10th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. This wasn't necessarily the greatest of Star Wars films. I don't think that's very controversial. But needless to say, it still had some pretty cool walkers. So the first one here is going to be the First Order ATST, and you're probably thinking, oh my god, we've gotten so many ATSTs. Yes, we have, but we haven't gotten a First Order ATST. I mean, technically we have, but the one that we got made us go, oh, really? What is this? So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an actual First Order ATST, which would be so much more enjoyable. This is another kind of short segment in our list. There isn't really much to talk about here, but there is minifigs, and I would include a First Order Stormtrooper, a First Order Stormtrooper Officer, a regular First Order Officer, and then I put the First Order Walker Driver here because it's a Walker Driver. There isn't technically a designated First Order AT-ST driver, as far as I know. This Walker Driver is from the AT-M6 in the scene and the LEGO set, and because it just says Walker Driver, I just threw it in here. I'm just hoping that if there is an actual AT-ST driver, again, I don't think there is, but I'm hoping that if there is, LEGO would just get that right and throw it in there and fix, I guess, my mistake. I hope you guys are enjoying this top 5 list. We do have one more here to close it off, and as I briefly talked about earlier, it is the AT-M6. It is also an AT-AT. Yeah, you guys are probably getting tired of AT-ATs, but it's not a regular one. It is a First Order one. Yeah, looks like a gorilla. But it is because it has a big Mega Caliber 6 cannon on the top. And this was last made in 2017 along with the Last Jedi movie. And I think it's just one of those sets that, again, need a rework. It just needs to come back in a fresh form, because that would be awesome. And it'd be really appropriate for the 10th anniversary of this film. Much like how this year's AT-AT comes with this little side build, I think the AT-M6 should come with a miniature version of this base smelting cannon, which is seen in the same scene in Episode 8. The last part of the epic return for this set, if it does happen, I'm sincerely hoping, is minifigures, and I put down 1 First Order Snowtrooper, 1 First Order Snowtrooper Officer, 2 First Order AT Walker pilots, because takes 2 to pilot an AT-M6, and a First Order Technician, and lastly, the glorious old Luke. If you have any other ideas for LEGO Star Wars walkers that should be made or remade, or adaptations to my ideas and concepts, please let me know down in the comments. Without further ado, that will be the end of our top 5 list. Please enjoy the rest of your day.